This beef sando is the kind of hearty sandwich that you just cannot eat gracefully. It's almost like a grilled cheese sandwich that's stuffed to the brim with beautifully tender and juicy beef, rocket leaves, and some grilled onion. So let's get straight into it. Start off by seasoning the beef. I'm using a ribeye steak. Now, I never grew up eating beef, so making beef at home has been a little bit of a learning curve for me. But I feel like I am getting better at it. And if you are like me and still figuring things out, this is how I do it. Pat the beef dry with some kitchen towel to get rid of any moisture. That is the key to getting that nice crust when you're pan frying this. Then season this generously with some salt on all sides. Rub it in and then let this sit in the fridge for about 30 minutes to almost dry brine. While your beef is soaking up all of that seasoning, slice up the onion. Cut it into rounds, not too thin, not too thick. We still want to have a little bit of bite to it after we saute it. Now get a pan heating on a high heat. Add a good glug of olive oil. If you want a little bit of extra flavor, go in with a knob of butter as well. But since this sandwich is already loaded with cheese, I'm going to skip the butter. Once the oil is nice and hot, add the steak. You want it to sizzle as it hits the pan. This way it forms that beautiful crust on the outside. Let it sit for about 2 minutes undisturbed, then flip it over and cook it for another 2 to 3 minutes. And then kind of pick it up and pan fry the sides as well. Press down a little so that you get a nice crust, and then it almost renders off a fair amount of the fat. Just be careful if you're wearing jewelry like I am, the heat coming out of this pan is very high. Cook this for a few more minutes, flipping it often so that it doesn't cook through. About 6 to 7 minutes in total and you are done. Take it out of the pan and let it rest while you cook up the rest. Turn the heat down a little, add in the onions, season with the tiniest pinch of salt, and let it cook for about a minute or so. And then I decided I'm going to add in a dash of Amino glaze. A bit of balsamic vinegar would work fine for this as well. Let it cook down until the onions are soft, and then take it out of the pan. At this point, I just clean the pan up with some paper towels to get rid of any of the glaze so that it doesn't burn when I'm toasting up the grilled cheese sandwich. Grab 2 slices of bread. Use a thick slice of a bit of a hardy bread like a sourdough or a roast bun, and not the soft sandwich sliced bread, because this has to hold a lot of filling without falling apart. Apply a generous knob of butter on both slices and then a little bit of Dijon mustard on one slice, and then go in with a good chunk of mozzarella and cheddar cheese. I'm going in with some sliced mozzarella and grated cheddar, but you can do grated for both. But do a generous amount of cheese. Close up the sandwich, apply a bit of butter on the outside of the top slice, and then get your pan heating up again. Pop the sandwich in, buttered side down. Press it down a little so that the cheese melts and the 2 slices of bread stick to each other. Let this toast up for about 3 to 4 minutes on a medium heat. Apply a little bit of butter on the other slice of bread and then flip it over. After about 3 minutes, flip it again. Just like with the beef, keep flipping your grilled cheese sandwich over so that the bread doesn't get too toasted and brown before the cheese inside melts. Once your bread is nice and crispy and it looks like your cheese is super melty on the inside, kill the heat and let it sit in the pan while you slice up the beef. By this time, your meat should be nicely rested. Grab a sharp knife and then slice into the beef into thin slices against the grain. This makes it much easier to eat. Take the grilled cheese out of the pan, carefully open it up because it will be hot and steamy inside. And then load it up with some rocket leaves for that peppery bite, that beautifully cooked beef, and then the sauteed onions. You must eat this hot to get the best of that warm, cheesy bite. But honestly, even cold, it still tasted super yummy. This is a very hearty, very filling sandwich, more of a meal than a snack. Pair this with some fries and you have yourself an absolute winner. Yum! You know the drill. Follow along for more. Bye.